So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Joy of Computing using Python. This is week 4 of the live interactive session. I'm Vikas Pandey, a PhD scholar, IDRP, Space Science and Technology at IIT Jodhpur. So, let's wait for some time before others join. And I have one small change. Next week, instead of Tuesday, we'll have our class on Saturday, 4th March, this week itself. Okay. Yeah, Saksha, are you saying something? I am not able to. You are mute.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Saksha.
Sir, I had some questions, sir. If we remember from the last week, sir, I was very much curious about those functions W plus and A plus mode, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
you
have
tried
you
finding some.
researched on it, sir?
Yes, those are actually just something that even when you put that, there will be no error, but that is not a mode. That actually W plus mode is
Okay, sir.
simply W mode. A plus mode is A mode. It is just that plus makes the read thing also not to
Yes, sir.
show an error. Nothing else.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Then it's nothing to be worried about. Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, let's wait for 2-3 minutes now before we'll start the class so that others can join. Any questions you have, you people are free to ask.
Yes, sir. I had a question, sir.
Yes,
There was a program in this week, sir. It was named, sir, Double Game. Sir,
double. Okay.
yes, sir. I was just having a no, sir. DOBBLE, sir. DOBBLE. Sir, I
DO
was
double
having a
barely.
bit of
Okay.
yes, sir. Sir, it was in the videos, but I was having a little bit of confusion while understanding the writing logic. So
Okay.
that's it, sir.
So, what was the purpose of the game?
Sir, it was a game in which there are actually there are a number of cards, and sir, in each card there are 8 icons drawn. Okay, sir.
Okay. Huh.
There are 8 icons drawn in each card, and there are n number of cards. And if we bring two cards together, for example, card one and card two together, then we are going to find that 7 of the icons are not going to match, and exactly one icon is going to match. And sir, this same holds true for all the cards that are present in that n number of cards. There will be no such card where two elements will be common or no element will be common. That means that
Yes.
every card is going to have exactly one element common. And sir, I was
Yes.
having a bit difficulty in making the logic.
Okay. So then, what you did? You
Sir,
tried something.
yes, sir, I tried something, sir, but I didn't proceed too much. So I proceeded to the next program. That was a movie game. Means guessing the movie, crossword one, and I got that completely right. I
Yes.
wrote a
Okay.
different program from this normal, and it was around 70 line or something, 75 line.
Mm.
It was perfect.
Okay. The thing is that sometimes when you have you go uh, further and then you come back and revisit a program, then you might find it very easy to understand. Earlier, it might not have been, you might
Yes,
not
sir.
have been able to, but
Yes.
later on, if you revisit it, it might be that you will be able to understand it much easily this time.
So
So
because I
it is
find that
it
the
is very
previous one was easier, sir. The previous means the one which I specified, that one is relatively easy. That should be easy. The next one is
yes,
relatively harder, but I got it. So I
yes.
just
So you can do that, and if in fact you are not able to understand, even that if you have made something, I would have helped you by like looking at your screen. Otherwise, you can post in the discussion forum regarding it if you are not able to understand something.
yes.
Some TA will answer, as well as you can post in the classroom also. That's also fine.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just a minute. Let me switch the focus.
Sir, I missed last week's class. Can you just mention the topics which were discussed?
Uh, yes, last week's class we mostly dealt with list and these things, and that also you will find the all the recordings in the YouTube channel. So it's not an issue. You can anytime watch that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this is the YouTube link, and all the slides, and in fact, YouTube link is also provided in the course section, so you can easily see that. And in fact, I am posting that in the classroom also, so you can get from there. Okay. So can we start? Any questions related to this week's, like any question, any concept you are not able to understand, you can ask. And okay. Yeah, before this, it is just a information that next week we will have, like next week class, instead of Tuesday, we will have the class on this Saturday, 4th March. Okay. Uh, there is a slight change just for this time. From next week, after that, we'll have the classes on Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. So here comes our first question. What will be the output of the following code? So remember, whenever we are putting one thing, import. Okay. This means we are doing what? Can anyone answer? What
So
is the
means we
meaning?
are bringing a package from outside. So means a
Yeah.
package is not included in the primary package. So we are
Yeah.
bringing it from some other place so that we can use it in the program.
And then what is the specific name for this thing? Like string, random. What is this?
Library, sir. Library.
Library. So we are importing some library. Okay. Then in line 4, we are doing a equals to string dot ASCII letters. So what happens is that A gets the string of all the ASCII letters. All the ASCII letters are assigned to A. Okay. And then we are having n equals to int input. So it is asking an input from the user. And what is this doing? Int. This time Saksar will not help. Other
Okay, sir.
anyone?
I will not help, sir. Okay.
Okay. Anyone? Please feel free to ask, and feel free to answer, because this is the purpose of this whole session. Yeah, please. Anyone? Can I specifically ask someone? Uh, Snehal Ghosh.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
What is this int doing here when we are in
So
this
it's
program? What is
converting the input which comes as a string into an integer value.
integer? And what this thing is called specifically? This process. What is the name for this process? Can you tell?
Oh. Type conversion.
Very good. Somewhat you are correct. It
Explicit
is
type conversion.
typecasting.
It's explicit typecasting or explicit type conversion.
Yeah. So then what is happening is that we are putting for I in range n. So that number is put in a range n, and L equals to an empty list for j in range n. So we are looping n, and then inside every n again once n time L dot append random dot trace a. This random dot trace comes from the library random. Okay, so it is taking any random ASCII value. That means any ASCII letter A to Z, and then appending it to list L. Okay, for elements in L. Okay, then what it is doing for elements in L? Print element, then end equals to backslash t. What is this backslash t? Let me
Sir,
ask.
it's tab spacing, sir.
Let me ask. I will ask this time. Subrat Mantri. Okay. Yeah, Shomajit Sarkar. Uh, don't feel offended if I am calling your names, because it is that I want that everyone interacts, everyone speaks up. Okay, and please feel free to speak up. Okay, Manoj. There is someone called Manoj Gresma. Yeah, anyone? Please answer.
So that is tab spacing.
Okay, and why we are putting this end equals to? What is the meaning of this? This end equals to.
Hmm.
Remember, we have done this. We have done this earlier. Yes, Snehal, you can answer. Yeah, please.
Sir, the default end, the default value for the end argument is /n. So it puts
Okay.
the next cursor to the next line. When
Yes.
we put end equals to /t is the
Yeah.
escape
It
sequence for tab.
one small change in this. It is not slash t. It is backslash, because slash
Backslash
will
t.
be, yeah. And why we call it backslash? Then when we are encountering it at first, it is backflip. To understand, when we are going forward, the first thing we encounter on the top is that in case of slash, it is moved forwarded, and in case of backslash, we encounter top one first. So that is called, it is backslash. Okay, and this is very correct. Good. Okay. So at last, what it is doing? It is printing in single brackets. Nothing is given. So what will this do? Line 16. Anyone, please. At last,
So can you
it
repeat the
is
Sir,
question?
print.
line 16 cannot be seen. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now print, and in bracket nothing is given there. So what will this do?
Sir, simply taking the print statement to the next line, sir.
Yeah.
It is basically
See,
serving no purpose, just to take the cursor to the next line.
next line. So since we are actually modifying the end equals to the value, okay. So what is happening here is that we are giving a new line using print. So what this does, what will be the purpose of this program? What will be the right answer? Can anyone answer?
Sir, I'm thinking. So, sir, what's happening initially, I can see that we are actually accepting n number of arguments from the user, means where n will be the number of random letters that I am going to generate. And then, sir, in the for loop, at first I am creating an empty list, and then in a nested loop, I am just going to misgenerate the random letters and then append them one after the other. For example, if the number generated is the UVWXY, then UVWXY is going to be added inside the list. And then, sir, after 5 arguments are done, then it is coming out of the nested loop. And then, sir, for element in L, that means, sir, between UVWX and Y, this one means this loop is going to print u, v, w, x, and y in tab spaces. At first u
Okay.
followed by v, then w, then x, then y by a single tab space. And then after this second nested loop is getting executed, the cursor is going to the next line. The same process is going to continue for n number of times. And
Yeah.
in each number of time, we are going to generate a random set of letters where the number of letters in each row is going to be determined by the user
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. Good. And yeah. So what will be the correct answer out of these
So
options? What should be the correct
a
answer?
magic square of size n. A magic square of size n.
Okay. One answer is this. Anyone else who thinks some other answer is there?
I may be wrong, sir.
Yeah, not an issue. Anyone?
Correct, sir. Magic square is size n, sir.
Okay, so other people also agree. Let's see. And then I have one more question. Once we run this program, I have one more question from you people. Please be prepared. What can be that question? Okay. I think I have not opened Colab. Just a minute. Okay, I have. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, what number can we put? Let's put say 4. Okay.
So for the
No,
proctored
magic
exam,
square doesn't generate for odd even integers. Remember.
Is it for 4?
But this is not a
It
magic
is.
square.
Why not a magic square?
Sir, because in the program, sir, as we saw in the program, it was firmly mentioned that a magic square can be made up only of even number of integers where we are generating a number in series of numbers. In the magic square, actually, sir, the numbers from 1 to n are actually given. But sir, since it is not a number sequence, so I think this is possible. This is possible, sir. It will
Yes.
be magic square of size n then.
Yes. For
As
3,
I
if
said.
we are putting 3, let's see. It works.
so for the
3 by 3.
proctored exam, do we just need to
Random
learn
matrix.
Python's
Yeah. Yeah.
concepts like
Just
list
yes.
and all,
Yes,
or
Nehal.
application-based concepts also like magic square?
Mostly the questions can be very similar to the assignment questions. Uh, what I expect, and the interface will also be quite similar since that is the one being used. Anyway, during the exam, like just before the exam, you will get these informations. Okay, that will be posted. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have a simple question from everyone. What will be the value of L at the end of the program? Once this program runs at this line 7, after this line 17, suppose I am putting
5.
a new line.
No, here in this program it will be 3. Because sir, after each iteration,
L. I am asking the value of L.
yes, the L means sir, you are referring to the
N
list.
into n, sir. N into n. N square, sir. It is n square. N into n. N square.
Value of L.
Yeah, L will be
Sir is
n
asking
into
about
n.
L.
L.
Okay, so what will be the value of L?
Sir, I feel that L is equal to N at the end of the program. Because sir, we are changing the value of L every time. Means when we are running the outer loop, every time the value is getting initialized to 0. Then sir, if the value becomes 0 each time, then
Why
at the end,
0? Where is it becoming 0?
sir, it's not 0 actually, but sir, it's an empty list. We can say, sir, for an empty list, we can't calculate the length actually, sir. Because there are no elements in it. So length cannot
Right,
be
so
calculated if there is
its
nothing.
length will be 0. Its
So
length is
length,
0.
yes, sir. Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I was thinking we are printing it inside the loop, but now I found that we are printing it outside. So, sir, yes, length will be 0, sir.
Yeah, but I am asking what will be the content of L. Yes, Bharat, you
Garbage
were
value,
saying
sir.
something.
Garbage value.
Yes, Bharat. Hello,
Yeah, sir.
am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sir. Yeah.
you were answering something. Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
I was thinking of n into n, sir. N square, like n rows and so
And
total elements I was thinking, sir. 9, 11. Suppose 3.
yeah.
So that was my logic, sir.
Yeah, but in line 10, you see one thing that every time this loop is running, L is actually getting erased and reinitialized in line 10, right? So when the last loop runs, what happens is that the last values, like the n number of values that were generated at the last, like in the last row, that will remain in L. So if we print it, actually we will get the same values that are there in the last row. Okay, let's run this and then you will be able to understand. Suppose I am putting 5 and so some random values are there and last you see C with
It's
yeah. So you have to understand this logic. Anyone who is not able to understand, please feel free to ask why this is happening or what is happening. If you are not able to understand, please. Yes, Ravi. Yeah, you have some question, Ravi Teja. Hello. Okay, I think you have raised hand by mistake. Okay. Anyone having any question? Question, please feel free. Yeah, Ravi, I cannot see the messages. Please unmute yourself
Sir,
and
Ravi
speak up.
asked you to explain the thing once again, sir.
Okay. The thing is that, see, here what is happening in line 1 and 2, we are putting, we are importing the libraries string and random because we are going to use the function escalators as well as random.choice. These two, for using these two, we have to import the libraries. Then in line 5, what we are doing is that we are putting all the ASCII letters into a list A. If we want to see, we can even do that. Let's see what will be the value of this. Then in bracket, let's put A. Okay. So in this case, we will even be seeing what is the value of A. What are the things that are put in there? Then we are asking an input from the user and we are converting it into integer. So we are actually asking for some number. Then in line 11, we are running the loop for that number of times, n number of times. And what we are doing is that in every loop, at first we are creating a variable L, a list variable L, having nothing in it, since we are defining it by square bracket and putting nothing into it, we are just creating L equals to an empty list. And then we are creating another loop for J in range N. Again, that n number of times. And whatever value we are generating here using random.choice from A. From A, we are selecting some random values and then we are putting it at the in the L one by one. And then in line 16, we are printing whatever is there in the L one by one with spaces. Clear till here? Yeah, Ravi, clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So what we are doing next is that we are using the print statements for one to change to the next line and then going back to the start of the loop. Okay. Then what happens is that we are erasing everything using L equals to square bracket. Like we are creating that variable again. So in that sense, everything is getting erased. So that was my question that generally by general understanding, what we will think is that all the if we are putting 3 or anything, so all the elements will be in L. But that is not happening here. All elements are not in L. Only the last element that will every time it is getting erased. So only the last run, the values will remain in L. So let's run this. Okay. So you see first, first what is happening is that the value of A, since I have put in line 7, print A, all the things in A are being printed. So it is all small letters and capital letters. Then I am putting the value. So it is creating a matrix of 4 by 4 with random values from this A. Okay. And then it is printing L. And L is just having all the things in the last row, not whole of the thing. So you have to understand this, how the program is working. So always take care that don't go by intuition, go by checking one by one. Okay.
Sir, can I one question, sir?
Yes, yes, please.
Uh, so to retain the appended values, that
Yes.
list should have been declared before that for loop.
Yes, before that for loop. But in that case, what will happen is that then we will have to think about this printing the statements. Na? That also we will have to do in some other way. Because here what we are doing is that we are printing all the elements using a loop. Okay. In that case, we can use, we have two options. We can either go by like double, uh, you can say two-dimensional list. Okay. I will show you how to make two-dimensional list.
Yes, yes, sir.
Or we can go by like using indexes. Like we will remove that index, or we can start from multiples. Like for elements in L, instead of this, we will have to start from that specific value. Okay, whatever is done. So to make it easier, it has been done here. But what is happening is that though it is being displayed, but its values are not stored. So uh, if you are going to store it, what you can do is that something like this we can create. Let's do that. Let's put m equals to, I am creating a new variable so that it is easy for us. Okay, m equals to, and then I am creating an empty list. Yeah. And once this whole thing is run, what I will do is that so what I will do is that I will append the whole L into this and then see what happens here. So what I will do is that m dot append, and then in bracket I will put L. So the whole list L itself will get appended to M. And in this case, I am not going to print L, I am going to print M only. Okay. So let's run this. Now, okay. So now if I put the value, say 4 and enter. So you see, what is happening is that this is visible to everyone. Yeah. You see, this
Yes, so in
matrix
the
is
same
made.
line.
Yeah. And here you see a list is inside another list. Like in the previous class also, we were discussing something similar, that a list itself can be an element. And here to address this specific values, we have to use two indexes. Till now, we are using one index, like if we put M and then in a square bracket, we put 1. So this whole thing, EHSJ, this whole thing is an element 1. And then another square bracket, if we put, yes, Bharat,
Nested list.
you are up.
Something like
Yes, it
Nested
is
list.
nested list. Yeah, nested list, or generally speaking, when we are talking about metrics, because Python is used a lot in computations also, and computations are very easy to be done using metrics. So you can say it as a two-dimensional list, three-dimensional list. These kind of words are also used because here two dimensions, like two values of index can be used to access each and every element here. And when we go for 3, we can do that also. Like if I suppose want to access this H, that is for element 0, the first like 0, 1, like that, right? So for element 0, it is the first value, first index. So what we can even do is that if I print, I just put some, okay, that will not be good. We'll not be able to see, right? Just, so what I can do here is that I can put in, there are a lot of things. If we keep going, this will be actually quite interesting and it will go on forever. A lot of things are there. And then we can use, like generally what we do, we put one square bracket, okay? And then we can say the first element, or in this case, 0th element, right? So 0. And then I can put another square bracket after it and say the first element, that is second, okay? And then if I run it, and I will comment this for now. So it is asking a number from me. Again, I am putting 4 for now. Okay. Now what happens is there, you see, in this case, M is having all the values in two-dimensional list or nested list. And then to access one element, we are using two index values. 0, that means the first element, and then 1, that means the second element inside that first element. So is it clear? Are you able to understand how to access two-dimensional list and these things?
Sir, have we written this M outside the for loop, outside the external for loop?
Yes, outside.
Okay, sir. Then sir, it's a matrix. Yes, sir. I have
Yes,
no
it is
problem.
something like matrix. Yeah. Anyone else who is not able to understand, please feel free to. Okay. So let's go to
Yes.
our next question. So the answer to this is magic square of size n. So all of you were correct, right? Now let's go to our next problem. Okay. Okay. A code to display whether the entered year is a leap year or not. Yes, Rakshas. Yes.
Sir, in the first line, I am going to write y is equal to int of input, bracket
No,
open
but
close.
let's forget about the code. First, tell me what is the logic, like how
Sir,
we know that
if,
it is a leap
sir,
year.
I am saying, sir, then if
Yeah,
Year
then
mod is
bracket
4
start,
is equal to
yeah.
0
Just
and
think.
if y mod
Yeah.
4 is equal to 0 and y mod 100 not equal to 0, or y mod 4 equal to 0 and y mod 400 equal to 0, then bracket
Okay.
close.
Yeah, Vaishnavi, you were also saying something.
yeah, I also was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, please speak up. Yeah.
If bracket opens,
No, I am not asking about that. Yeah, Saurabh, you are saying something. Saurabh, are you saying something? Okay. So, what is that? First, we don't go into code. First, we need to understand how it will work. Like, what is the basics behind it? So, for any leap year, how we know that it is a leap year? We take the year, okay? Take or ask the year what do you want to check, okay? And then we do the first. This is the first step. The second step is that you have to check
whether it's
divisibility.
divisible by
Yeah,
4.
whether it is divisible by 4.
Yes, sir. Divisible by 4, provided that it's not a century year.
Okay. So provided that it is not a century year, can a logic or program understand this?
So means any year which is divided by 100 does not equal to 0 is a such a year. That is called a century year,
Yeah.
sir.
So we don't go for division by 4 first. We first go to check the divisibility by 100.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is very important to understand which logic to put first. If you put divisible by 4, okay, then you cannot decide, or actually you will be wasting your the time and resource of the program. Okay, because if you are checking divisibility by 100, then you are clearly excluding, okay, if it is not by 100, then I can go by 4 and I can confirm it is right. And if it is like if you check by divisibility by 4 but later on found that it was actually divisible by 100 also, then you will have to do the divisibility by 400, right?
Sir, then from my statement, sir, I will be concluding then, sir, at first we should be dividing it by 400 directly and checking it. If the number is divisible by 400, then we will print it a leap year straight away. Else, if it is divisible by 100, then we are going to print not leap year. Else, if divisible by 4, then we will print leap year. Else, not leap year in any other situation.
But if it is divisible by 400, then why we need to check its divisibility by 100?
Sir, divisibility by, sir, else. I said it in the elif portion, sir. Elif
Yeah.
portion.
If anything is divisible by 400, will it not be divisible by 100 also?
So definitely it's going to be divisible by 100.
Yeah, so we don't need to put that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anyone else who have a different idea? Yeah, please feel free to ask and put your thoughts. Okay. Anyone?
We use the OR condition, sir. We check divisibility by 100.
Okay.
It is not. It should
100.
not be divisible by 100, and it should be divisible by 4, or it should
No,
be divisible by
no,
400.
not or 400 or by 4. I didn't get this thing. What you are saying?
No, no, no. First, you will check the divisibility with 100, if it's divisible by 100
Okay.
or not. It should
Okay.
not be
So
divisible by
first is
100.
check divisibility by 100. Okay.
If y is not equal to year is not equal to 0, and year is divisible by 100,
Y
year,
is not equal to year. What is Y?
sorry, sir, wait, I'll say clearly, year is not divisible by 100.
Okay. If
Y
year
modulo
is not divisible by 100.
100,
Okay.
and
Is
it should be
not
divisible by 4.
equal to 0. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
and year modulo 4 is equal to 0.
year mod of 4 is equal to 0.
Now or
Double
statement,
equals to
or
or. Okay.
year
Yeah.
modulo 400 is equal to 0.
Yeah, this is also right. This is also a way of doing it. Is equal to 0. Then we can print it is 100.
Leap year.
So yeah, you are uh, doing a lot of things in one line itself. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have created this. Okay. And what I have done is that I have created a function using it. I have used a function to check. Okay. So what I am doing is that in the main program, actually line 9, the main program is starting like with year equals to int input, enter year, asking for the input, and then we are putting leap year. Okay. Whether it is a leap year or not, we are going to put that year into it, and it goes here, and it is testing if year is divisible by 400 or year is divisible by 4, one of these, and certainly this will have some error. Okay, print it is a leap year. That condition is not there.
100.
Yeah, here divisibility by 4 or year is divisible by 0. This thing will actually create an error. Some more conditions will be there, like she said, I think Vaishnavi said, right?
Sir, actually, we need to add some one or two words. Sir,
Yeah,
if you
one or
allow me,
two
then
more. Yeah,
sir, if you allow
we
me,
will
then
add.
I want to show my screen once, sir, means
Yeah, please.
through the camera, sir.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Pradanya, you have some question?
Sir, I just want to ask you one thing. Like for
Yes.
if year is like year mode 400, whatever it is written inside, instead of that, if we write
Mm.
year is greater than
Mhm.
365, then it is leap year, and if it is less than equal, sorry, greater than equal to 365, then it is not a leap year.
Yeah.
That is also
So
days, right? That is not
those are
year, no?
days. Yeah. We are asking about the year, like 2023. So if we are going to count the number of days, certainly we have done our work there itself, right?
Okay, right.
Yeah. Your logic is correct, but that will be a bit difficult, right? We are trying to make it easier. Yeah. So you are writing if year is divisible by 4 and year is divisible by 100, or is not divisible by 100, very good. Or year is divisible by 4 and year is divisible by 400. Yes. So the same thing we can put here. What you are putting, this Sakshar, what he is putting, we can put the same thing here in this. Okay, good.
Sir, is it okay? The one which I
Yes,
showed?
yes, this is okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's try this.
So it was a one line. It was just a one line program.
Yes, so we can do that in one line, not an issue. And in fact, just to make it easy to understand, why and just so here, let's run this first, and then let's come into what is the problem that is happening here, and then we will resolve it. So, like, let's put 2000. 2000 was a leap year, was because it was divisible by 400, as well as 4. But what if I put 1900? So in this approach, 1900 itself is being shown as leap year because it is divisible by 4. Okay, which is not very correct, right? So we will have to modify it a bit. Like we will have to write if year is divisible by 400 and year is
Yeah.
divisible by 0, and then we can write or.
Or
So and or, we must understand, and means both of these conditions must be true, and in case of or, any one of the conditions will be fine. So we can write something like or year is,
so year mode 4 equal to 0
yeah,
and year mode 100 not equal to 0.
year mod 4,
Equal to 0 and year mode 100 not equal to 0.
but we can even shorten it. If year is divisible by 400, and uh, first we can write if year is divisible by 4, and
Sir, we can write, sir, year is divisible by 4 and year is not divisible by 100, or year is divisible by 400. Then, sir, it
yeah,
will also work.
it will also work. But year is not divisible by 0, or so we will actually reduce, instead of 4 statements we will just have 3, or year is divisible by 400. There can be many ways to just do the same thing. Okay, so we have to take care. And one more thing, in previous class also I said one thing, that we must take care that binary operator or and are binary operators. So we cannot write something like the first code for like three things we cannot put together. So we must take care that the operation at once is working on two things only. Like here, year is divisible by 100, is not divisible by 100, or year is divisible by 400. This thing it is checking, then it is going to end. Year is divisible by 4. So if we run this now let's see 1900, not a leap year, correct? And when it comes to a leap year, 2024 is a leap year.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, it is a leap year. 1600,
It
it's a
is.
leap year. Year, let's do 1442,
No, it's not a
not
leap
a
year.
leap, right? So we can easily do this thing now. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay.
So, why
Yes.
it's or? Because we have to satisfy both two conditions, like a year not divisible by 100, and also
Yes.
it should be divisible by 400. No, so why
Uh,
it's or?
because if we are saying, we are checking it the other way around here. Okay. First, we are checking if the year is always, while reading the codes, try to read it from the right hand side. Okay. So first thing is that, is the year divisible by 400? Okay. We are checking if the year is divisible by 400 or year is not divisible by 100. That means if that year itself has no such value, like is actually is not divisible by 100, so we don't need to check the divisibility by 400, right?
Okay, but we have to satisfy both conditions, no? In or, if one condition is true, then it will results true, no?
Yeah. Anyway, if any if a number is divisible by 400, it will automatically actually be divisible by 100, isn't it? Any
Yes,
number that is divisible by 400 will actually be divisible by 100 by itself.
yes, yes.
Okay. So we are using this just to uh, exclude that condition in which the year is not divisible by 100. Okay. If the year is not divisible by 100, then what we have to do is that we have to check the eligibility that it is divisible by 4. Okay. And if it is divisible
Okay,
by 100, then it should be divisible by 400. So any one of this condition, if it is true, it is fine,
okay.
right? And anyway, you must understand that anything that will have two zeros at the end will actually be divisible by 4.
100. 4. Okay,
Yeah. By 4, anything, since 100 itself is divisible by 4,
okay.
right? That
Yeah,
is why we go for 400.
okay.
A bit of mathematics, right?
Mhm.
Small thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir,
Okay.
a number is divisible by 4 if the last two digits are divisible by 4. This was the
Yes.
test of divisibility.
And 00 is always divisible by 4.
Yes, sir.
That is why we go for 400 to exclude this problem. Okay. So next is the question: what will the following code do? We have some movie names. Okay, like Harry Potter, Matrix, Spider-Man, Avengers, John Wick. Okay, this is our list L1. Then we have another list L2, which is having our local movies,
Sir,
Drishyam. Yes,
sir, excuse me. From the previous problem, I have a doubt.
yes,
Sir,
please
there
ask.
was one thing in the NPTEL course, right? There was
Yeah,
birthday case something, birthday paradox.
Yeah,
I
birthday
have a
paradox.
doubt in that code.
birthday.
I have a doubt in that code. Can I
Yeah,
share the
please.
screen and ask?
Yes, yes, sure. Let me stop sharing for some time.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Yeah, please ask.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's coming.
Sir, so this, I actually understood the whole code till condition, sir. Day, else
Okay.
condition, if condition, everything I understood. From DD is
Mhm.
equal to date, time dot date. I didn't understand what actually it is and all.
See, if you go to the top of this code, there will be something like input. Yeah, just run this video a bit backwards, like use the back key.
Backwards.
Not that much. Yeah, in the yeah,
Import random.
yeah. After this, something will be there.
That's all. Directly
Go
the
further.
conditions.
No, there will be something.
At approximately 6.5 minutes, 6 minutes 30 seconds somewhere.
Yeah, no. After this, yeah, yeah.
No.
Just
Sir, after
pause,
condition,
pause
directly
for
they're
some time.
mentioning this.
Pause some time. See, in the
Import date
line
time,
10,
sir, sir.
yeah, import date
Uh,
time. So
yeah.
this is something that has been added later on, and that is, I think you missed, right?
Yeah.
So this, what it does is that it assigns this to the, it takes the year, month, and day, and assign it to the value dd.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, sir.
if you run it further, what happens? Like
Sir,
play the
can you
video.
explain what is the syntax? So DD is a variable, date time is a
Yeah,
function.
it's not a
Date
function.
time
It
is
is
a
a library.
library. Date time is a
Okay.
Yeah,
library.
The above one
and
is a
date.
library. Now below what I wrote. I mean what?
Yes, like it is called resolution operator or dot operator. What it does is that when you want to refer to a function inside a library, okay,
Okay. Okay,
what we
sir.
do is that we first write the name of the library dot the function.
Okay.
And there is
Okay.
a
So
simpler way
date
to do
is a
this also.
function.
Yes, date is a function defined inside the date time library. But
So,
you see, the name date time is very big. Yes,
uh,
yes, Vaishnavi, what
sir,
you are
so
saying?
date, if I want to get date, I have to type date time and dot date only. I can't change name as date as anything I want. Date time dot
Yes,
date only I have to type.
yes, date time dot date. This is
And sir, the
fixed.
attributes, can I change the order as day, month, and year?
Yes, you can do that.
Order can be anything.
Yes, order can be anything.
So if I want a date, I have to equate it to a variable, and the function is date time. Accessing from for accessing
Yeah,
from library.
but you
Okay.
see here, what is happening is that at first you are putting something it is asking year, month, day, right?
Uh,
And
yeah.
have you defined year, month, day anywhere?
Yeah, sir.
It is,
Year, month, and day. Actually, we did this previous things, no, sir.
yes. So has previously been defined, and this is the sequence. When we see functions, functions generally have their inputs defined, right?
Uh,
So
yes, sir.
while this date function has been defined inside the datetime library, so what it is done is that first it has been written as year, the value of year have to go. Even if you put something else, it will take, but it will give us wrong output. Why? Because the sequence is important here. Or what you can do is that to make it easier for you, you can use the when we go to function, there is a way of assigning specific variable like we use for sep and end values.
Mm.
In our case for print, what we do, we put and equals to and that value.
Mm.
In that case, any sequence will not matter. You can put even year, month, day anywhere, but you will have to assign. There are different ways of assigning these values to the function, right?
Yes, sir.
And in that case, you can change the sequence. You can put month earlier, but in that case, you will have to use that equal to attribution thing. The method of attribution will change.
Sir, actually, I
Got it?
didn't get you. So you're saying I can take day, month, year also, but then what should I change?
Then you will have to write something like year equals to, you will have to find out what is the way of definition inside that library. Okay. Then what if whatever is the definition, like if they are defining it by y, or if they are putting year, then you will have to write, suppose uh, m equals to month, then you can write d equals to day, and
Mm.
y equals to year in any sequence.
Okay, sir.
Okay. But it will you will have to find out what is the way defined inside the library.
Okay, okay.
Okay. And there is a way of importing libraries. We will see in some questions later on also, that if you are finding this very big, like date time, this word is very big. Okay. So it can even be imported as import date time as
As
dt.
other name, yeah.
Yeah, as dt,
As
as
equalizer, yeah.
yeah, as anything. You can even put Radha, Mohan, anything. It is fine.
Yes.
But then also you will have to use that word to before the resolution operator. Then suppose you are defining it as dt, then you will have to write
DT dot date.
dd, yeah, dt dot date. Okay,
Okay.
so that should be the way.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Now
you,
you
sir.
can stop sharing.
Well, sir, I had a similar question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I would like
Yes.
to show my screen for a few seconds as well. Sir, the same program
Okay.
I have done means I was having a bit difficulty, but it's running. Sir, I want to show you, sir, 1 second.
Yeah, please.
Sir, hello.
Yes, 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 one.
Yes, sir. If from week four assignment, week four third assignment, I couldn't do it. So can you please
Uh,
explain that?
you have that assignment with you? Third
Uh,
assignment,
uh,
or
Fourth
this?
week assignment. I'll paste the question, sir.
Okay, yeah, please.
So, sir, I have shared the screen, sir,
Yeah,
for
yes, sir.
the
Sure.
program budget paradox. So, I think it's
Mhm.
visible.
Yes, yes, it is visible. Yes. So, what is the problem in this structure?
Sir, my question is, sir, where I was working, sir, approximately in this, sir, here. Sir, I was actually trying to, at first, I was trying to append this birthday, but later on they were showing that string is an immutable object which cannot be changed. Sir,
Hmm.
can you please explain this once?
Yes, because you must have defined birthday dot append and you will,
Yes,
okay. So, where is birthday defined? Before this, can you go to birthday,
yes,
where
sir.
birthday is defined? This word birthday dot short dot append dd. Okay,
Sir, birthday is defined here, sir. It's an empty list.
okay.
Line number
Birthday
6.
is a list. Okay, fine. Go down a bit.
Yes, sir.
Go down. Birthday dot append birthday dot sort, fine. Then print birthday I, done. Go down,
Yes, sir.
calculating all the overlaps. Birthday dot append, okay, to run the loop an extra time. Okay,
Sir,
so
overlap and a perfect overlap, sir, these are two variables I use. For overlap means, sir, the people whose birthdays fall on the same date. For example, sir, if it's 21st February, then 21st February will be identical for both the people. And the perfect
mhm,
overlap means, sir, the date should be same for everyone. Means for all the
mhm.
people. For example, 1st January 2010, if both the people have birthdays on 1st January 2010, then it's a perfect overlap. So
Then
this is my understanding.
what is happening here when you run this?
Sir, here, when I have some concept questions, sir. At
Run
first,
it
when
once.
I was trying to, sir, at first,
Uh,
what I did was that, sir, you can see that I have written STR or something. Sir, if
mhm,
you can see that.
yeah.
STR of
Then,
birthday, STR of birthday, I plus
but
1. So at first,
you are
I was
putting it
trying
in the
to,
wrong way. You are putting it in the wrong way. STR will not have brackets around it.
so this is string, string doesn't have brackets.
No, like a bracket is when you are operating something on it. You want this string operation on the birthday, right? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, now it will work.
That will work, sir.
Yeah, now it
And
will
sir,
work.
this one I did, sir, means I actually did the slicing and took out the parts
Yes,
individually.
okay. Okay.
So does it look okay?
Yeah, this should work fine.
We need to give a bigger input.
Not generating same, but you see the things are getting generated fine this time, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But the number sounds a bit awkward, sir, because 960 pairs of birthdays in the same date, month, and year. That, though
Yeah,
it's possible. It's
yeah,
possible, sir.
it's possible,
Okay, sir.
right?
Thank you, sir. My
Okay.
doubt is clear.
So yeah, now let's move to our questions. Yeah,
Sir, I have
someone,
pasted
yeah, someone
the
asked. Yeah,
yeah, I have pasted in chat box
I
the
have seen
question.
that. Yeah, just let me check. Just yeah, the question is: write a program that takes the number n, okay, as input and prints a pyramid of number with n rows, okay, like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay. So in the center we will have these these numbers, right?
Yes, sir. It's printing like random. Yeah,
Yeah. So where is the problem that you are encountering in this?
sir. I mean, I didn't get the question actually. I didn't do it. I mean, I didn't get it.
The thing is that simply it asks that you have to ask some number from the user. Okay. Like
Okay.
suppose you are putting 1, 2, or 3. So here what you see is that when someone puts 5, you have to print this thing in 5 lines. So total number of lines are 5 here,
Okay.
right? And you have to understand that if you see this sequence, there is a sequence in this. It starts with 1 in the center, you see. Okay.
Yes, sir.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This is the sequence, right?
Yes, sir.
In the center. So when someone is putting 5, okay, so the first number is 1.
One, sir.
One. Yeah.
Okay. Second number is 1
Three.
plus 2.
One.
The
Okay.
third number is this number, like 1 plus 2 plus 2, right? 1
Okay.
plus
Like
2 plus 2 plus 2,
yeah,
right?
like odd numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the last, what is happening is that 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So how many times 2? 4 times 2.
Four
That
times.
is
Yeah.
1 less than the value of 5.
In minus one. Okay.
Yes. So what is happening here is that you can say the central value will always be 1 plus uh, 2 multiplied by the value of n. If you are putting
In
Sir,
minus.
n,
the logic, sir,
yeah,
we can tell in another
n you
way,
are
sir,
putting
n into
0
2
to 4.
minus 1.
Yeah.
N into
What you
2
are saying,
minus
Charlie?
1, sir.
Yeah, n into 2 minus 1.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can do that also. Yeah. So when you are looping inside something, like you are putting in range 5, right? The range 5 will have values starting from 0 going till 4. So we can say the central value will be this one. Is it clear till here, Yasun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then second thing is that if we see here the number of terms, in first case we are having one term, in second case we are having three terms, in third case we are having how many terms? We are having 5 terms. This
Hi.
is also following the same sequence. The number of terms also is having the same sequence, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So here also you can use the same logic. Then you see it is the central point is this, and it is having 2 less than this, like 2 2 it is decreasing. Not 2, sorry,
Okay.
1 1 it is decreasing, right?
Yes.
in this case. We will do something similar in the programming assignment today, one of the programming assignments. Okay. So
Okay.
there you will get even more clarity. Fine.
Okay.
We will be
Yes.
discussing that later on.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So now let's come to problem 3. Okay. If we have something like uh, we have a list L1 which is having some value of like some name of movies, and in L2 we have again some name of movies. Okay. In the first case we have the name of movies which are Hollywood movies, and in second case what we have Hollywood and Bollywood, right? And then we are creating another list L equals to an empty list. Okay. And we are running it through the length of L1, and we are putting the flag, a flag, we are putting a value flag equals to 0. And then inside that loop, we are again running it by the number of the length of L2. And we are finding if the value of L1 is equal to L2, like value at L1 at different positions, we are comparing with different positions of L2. We are creating, we are putting, whenever it is equal, we are putting a flag 1, breaking the loop. Okay. And going forward, like breaking the loop. And if the flag is equal to 0, okay, we are putting that value in L. Fine. So what is it doing? Like what is the value inside L at end?
The unique elements of list 1, sir.
List 1, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So because we are appending only from list 1, not from list 2. So unique
elements.
Yeah, print unique movies of list L1, which are not mentioned in L2. If anything like Spider-Man is mentioned, it will not work. And Matrix is mentioned, so it is not going to show in L. Let's see. So let's run this. Okay. So you see it should print Harry Potter, Avengers, and John Wick, right? That's 917. Yeah, Satish, you have some question?
No, sir.
Okay. So you can just put your mic muted. There is some noise from your side.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sorry. Here what I have done is that if flag equals to 1, I have done.
Yes, sir. So what
So
we were telling is earlier short.
yeah. So and exactly if you want to do the opposite, what you will do, you will change the flag to 1. That whenever it is equal, that value has to be appended. Okay. And we are using, so you see here it is very beautifully used as break. Okay. Whenever we are taking one elements of L1 and comparing it with every element of L2 one by one. If it is found, it breaks, and then the flag becomes 1 and nothing is appended. But whenever it is found, okay, if it is found, it is not found. If it is not found, so the flag will remain 0 throughout, and then that value is appended. So here, just to check one by one, we are running how many loops? Like how many times this comparison is done? Can anyone say?
30 times.
30 times. Why? 30 times?
Originally, original iterations are 5, and in secondary iterations are 6.
Yes. So, because in the first L1, we have 5 elements, and in L2, we have 6 elements. So, in total, we will have 5 multiplied by 6, that is 30 times there will be comparison between this. And that is the reason that this is not a very efficient way of comparing things. Okay. We will see later on, like when you go deep in this, there are more efficient way of doing these things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what should be the correct answer? A. Now let's come to this. Yeah. Now let's come to problem 4. What is this code do? Import random L equals to Harry Potter, Karate Kid, Matrix, Spider-Man, Avengers, John. Okay. Movie equals to random choice L. So we have already seen that random dot choice, what it does is that it picks any random value from the list L. Okay. And then we are putting one count equals to G for character in movie. Okay. So you try to understand this. Here we are not taking whole L. We are taking movie, only one single name to loop. Okay. And this is a very effective way of going through each and every character of a string. Okay. We can use for loop, like for we can say I in let's say Bharat. Okay. Colon, then print I. So what will be printed? First, it will
Sir,
take the value
number of
B.
vowels in the name of movie.
Yeah, this whole thing is doing that. Very good. And now, what will this do? If I put something like this code, what will this do? Yeah, I think
Prints the
Bharat should.
name. B variety.
Yeah.
So
So
it is
what
going
is
to
it?
print the letters one after the other.
Yeah, I was expecting an answer from Bharat because his name was used. I think. Bharat, are you there? No. I think he might have lost
I'm there, sir.
connectivity.
I'm there, sir.
Okay. So what will be the output of this?
Yeah, display the number of vowels and the name of a movie, sir.
No, I am asking this one, this code where I
Bharat,
have written the.
okay. So print I is BHARAT.
Yeah. So first B, then H, then
Yeah,
A, R,
yeah,
A, T.
yeah.
In
So
separate lines, yeah.
yes. So this is a very efficient way of uh, using the for loop. You must have seen that for loop very easily works with a value range. Then we have something in a list. Uh, if we use a for loop on a list, what happens? One by one, the elements are taken. And if we go by if we go for something like for a string, it takes one by one the strings. Okay. And then what it is doing, it has very well been said by Vaishnavi and many others that it is checking if the character is equal to a small a or character capital A. It is increasing the count by one. And this it is doing by checking it every time with all the characters. And here you see elif is used. Those who are not familiar with this, it is combination of else and if. So instead of using many else if in like generally used in many other programming languages, here we have something elif where else and if are combined together. Clear? Okay. And then it will print the count as well as the movie. So it will take one random movie from here. It will count the number of vowels in it. and then it will print the number of vowels as well as the name of the movie. Fine? Yes, Sakshi.
Sir, my question was that, sir, in unlike other programming languages, sir, we used to means write one else after that else if or any other thing. Sir, in Python, is it mandatory to write else after if or
No.
something?
In any programming language, generally, it is not necessary to have an else with if. If can exist alone, but an else cannot exist
No, sir,
without
I
an
am
if.
telling, sir, in the last case, sir. Means, sir, for
Yes.
example, there are 5 or 6 cases. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Yes. So what happens is that in no case else is never a compulsory thing. Okay. So we can even write one single if without an else. So certainly in this case we can skip else because else does not need a condition. Sometimes we need that all the conditions have like all the options have some condition and anything beyond this is not taken care of. Like in this case, else will have nothing. Yes, in this, remember you asked something about pass, the keyword pass when we were discussing. Here, if you put
Yes, sir.
else, then
Break,
you will have to
continue, and
just
pass.
put, yeah, there you will just have to put pass. So it will go to the next, right? So
Yes, sir.
display the
I
number
get
of
it, sir.
vowels. So C should be the correct answer, right? So let's
Yes,
check.
sir. C will be
But
the correct answer.
will it count all the vowels? Because if condition is satisfied, then it will
Um,
not check the elif, no? So if
yes,
there is an A present, then it will not check for E or
yes,
U.
because uh, by logic, if you go, and A is never equal to E or B, E or I or something, right? So if we find an A, there itself
Huh.
we need that
Yeah.
it is not E, I, O, or U. Okay.
Okay, I got
So it's
it.
because one by one we are taking the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since it is a for loop, we are taking it one by one.
Okay.
Sir, this movie programs, sir, I have a little bit of means problems. Sir, at the end
Uh-huh.
of at the end of the day, sir, I would love to show my screen once.
Okay, sure. Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Where is it? I think this keeps on freezing. I'll have to search some alternates every time this is creating some problem. In the code area, I cannot zoom. So it is, and these are some big codes. That's why it's creating problem. Yeah. So what it is doing is that it is taking, like in this case, it is taking matrix A and I. These two are vowels. If I run it again, Avengers. In this A, E, E. 3. Okay. So it is checking one by one. It is not like the index function in list, which takes the first occurrence only. It is going one by one since we are using in the for loop. Clear? Okay. Okay. Now a very short question. Okay. What will be the output of the following code? For I in range 5 to 20, if I is divisible by 5, then print I multiplied by 2. Simple. Not multiplied, sorry. Exponential 2. This is 2 stars. That is equal to pop. So what will this do?
Sir, it's basically going to print 25 followed by 100 and then 225. That means
25.
printing all the perfect squares with square roots between 5 to 19 and divisible by 5. Then option D.
D. Perfect with square roots 5 to 19 and divisible by 5. Okay.
Because
Why not?
20 means 20 minus 1 it will be, or 19 plus 1 as we can
Yes.
say.
So
So sir, 20 will not
these
be
are
printed.
just to remind you people that don't forget that range goes one less than the ending value. Fine. Anyone
Yes,
have
sir.
any? Yeah.
No, sir, it's
Anyone
fine,
have
sir.
that? Yeah. Okay. So D should be the correct answer. We will run this also. Okay. Again, the same. I'll have to find some sort. Just so if we run this code, here I have put 21. Okay. So that we get 20 also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It will be printing 400, sir, in case of 21.
Yeah. So to make it print till 400, we can put 21. Okay. So in this case, 20 will be ignored. We have to take care of these things. Whenever we are using range, the last one is not used, but then you will say that, sir, in case of the previous code, just before this, what we did is that we were putting character in movie. Okay. And so will it happen in this case that the last character will be ignored? Is it the case? Because in
No,
for
sir,
loop,
because in movies that the index is going to start from 0th position. So, sir, even
yeah,
if the length, we are going to check till length, then also till L minus 1 is the last element. So, sir, it is
yeah,
not going to be ignored.
yes. And remember that this is happening in case of range function. Okay, not in case of for. Okay? For and range are used together, but range is not for. Okay, so when we are looping, we have to take care that it is not going. In case we are using range, it will not go to till the end. It will go one less than the value. But in case of character or string or list, it will go till the last value. Okay, it's creating a lot of confusions. Yeah. Okay. Create a code to generate all prime numbers between 0 to 100. Can anyone think of this?
For I in range, bracket 1, comma, 100 plus 1,
Yes. 1 comma
bracket 1,
100
comma,
plus 1.
100 plus 1, bracket close, colon.
Hmm.
Sir, then I would love to add one line outside the for loop. So,
Hmm.
no, not really, not really, sir. Sir, inside the for loop only, I am going to write count equal to 0.
Okay. Count equals
Count
to
equal to
0.
0. Then, sir, next line I will be writing for j in range 1, comma, I plus 1.
J in range
Range bracket 1,
1
comma, I plus 1. I
plus
plus 1.
1.
Yes. Sir, in the very next line, I would be writing if I mod j is equal to 0, j equal to 0, then say count plus equal to 1. Count plus equal to 1 plus equal to 1. Then sir, we will be coming out of the inner loop. So in the outer part, we are going to write, sir, if count double equals to 2, then we will be printing that number. If count equal to 2, then print I.
Okay. Just, so here let's flip. If after
So
this it is if
count,
count.
sir, this will be in the outer loop, sir. We should be writing it with
Yeah.
red.
Yeah. Okay. Here, right? I will use that. Okay.
Yes.
So
If
if
count equal to
count
2,
over
then print I.
print
Then say print I, sir.
print I. Okay. Anyone
Yes,
with
sir.
a
It will be
shorter
printing in
code.
next line, and sir, count also we don't need to initialize, because means we don't need to update or change to 0 every time, because sir, it's already being done.
Okay. Anyone
Yes, sir.
else with any number?
Sir,
Any other value? Yeah.
for first condition, we keep it as the same. For I in range 1 to 101, count is equal to 0. For j in range I to 10,
Okay. I to 10.
yeah, I to 10, yeah, 10. If I percentage j is equal to 0, then count will be incremented.
Okay. Why 10?
Sir, because if the numbers are in between 0 to 100, obviously they'll be divisible by any digit in between 1 to 10. Square root of
I
the number.
okay.
Sir, I
Square root.
would have to add
This
line.
is let
Sir, we
let's
can do this.
discuss one by one. Yeah. One by one.
Sir,
Let's
yes,
discuss.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Vaishnavi. You were saying that see, this is prime number. So when we are talking about prime numbers, how do we find that it is a prime number?
It should not be divisible by any other numbers than itself and 1.
Yes. So itself and one. So it should have two factors only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say 23.
Okay.
Okay. Or yeah, let's put 100. Okay. 100. Is it a prime number?
No.
Not a prime number. Okay. So let's put by your way. It is not it is divisible by 1. It is fine. It is divisible by 2. Okay. Here will not work. Just let me take some other number. There
1,
are
2, 5, 10, 20, 25, 50, 100.
okay.
Her
Like
logic will
yeah.
do, sir. But value should be taken as 11, not 10.
Yes.
Yeah,
11.
yeah, 11. Yeah.
Yeah. I to 11. And why we are starting with I? Because when we go further, like when we will have values of I as 11, 12, or 13, this whole thing will be skipped, right? Because it will not go in backward direction. Then what we will have to do instead of I think we can go from 0, right?
Sir, I would love to add something, sir.
Yes, Akshay.
Sir, we can do this programming another way. So if we really want to do this thing fast, then sir, instead of running the inner loop from 1 to I plus 1, sir, we can do the inner loop from 1 to I by 2 plus 1. Yes, sir. I by 2 plus 1. And then sir, in the outer loop, we are going to check if count is equal to 1, then we can print I as a prime number.
And what if I by 2 is a this one? I is a odd number. Then what will happen?
Sir, I by 2 plus 1, so that's why only I was saying, sir. So for
Then
example, we are going to
if we are
choose
taking
36.
5,
Yes, sir.
I
Then sir, it
value is
will run
5.
from 1 to 3, sir.
1, 2, 3. How? 5 divided by 2 is
So it won't work, sir. I was just telling, sir, means this is another way of doing this problem, sir. Means if we run the inner loop from 1 to n by 2 plus 1, then, sir, we are automatically confirmed that there is no number which can be greater than half of that number which will be divisible by it. So, sir, we can easily say that means if there is 38 is a number, then, sir, if we run the loop till 20, then only we can understand that means we can understand the trend. So, sir, if we all know that every number is divisible by itself. So, sir, if we ignore that, then sir, we are going to check count means from count equal to 0 to count equal to 1. And then, sir, if count equal to 1, then we can print it prime number, sir. We are not checking the number itself thing. And this will
so
increase the speed of the
there
program.
there are different ways we can do. and
Yes.
different conditions, right? One way I have done, okay. And one more thing is that uh, I have done it like this, 2 to I, and whenever the value is like in this value, like the first factor is 1,
Yes, sir. Flag is 0.
and the next factor is the number itself. So I am running it excluding this value. If it starting from 2 going till 1 less than the value, because if I am putting I, it will go till I minus 1. There are different ways. Okay. So whenever there is any value other than this, okay, like if there is any factor in between, finding the first factor itself, it will break. Okay. And if it is not breaking, it is going till the last number value, it will print the value. Though in this case also, it will not be fully efficient because yes, if it was something like I by 2 plus 1 modulus, you can say, when we modulus we can use from math function, okay, then it would have been even more efficient. Okay, clear? Any Vaishnavi, is it fine, this method?
Sir, I actually didn't understand what you are saying.
Okay, so what I am doing here is that there are different methods. Your method is also correct. Saksha's method is also correct. There can be different methods, and you will have to check one by one. Then what I am doing is that we already know that if there is a number n, okay, it will have two factors for sure. That is 1 and the number n itself. Okay. So what I am saying is that so we don't need to check this. This will be anyhow there. So I am starting from 2 and going till 1 less than this. Okay. N minus 1. Fine.
Okay,
And
sir.
I am checking that if this number is dividing n or not, one by one. And whenever I find the first number that is dividing n, I stop there itself, okay, by making the flag as 1. And in this case, since the flag is not 0, like it will not print anything. And if it finds that after running the whole loop, if running the whole loop, this for loop, if still it is 0, okay, what it will do is that it will print that number and then it will go back to this number. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so this
Understood.
is what is happening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the question also is 0 to 100, and we have to take care that one again a problem was there, that when you people were saying 1 to 100 plus 1, still that has a problem since 1 is never considered a prime number, and in this program 1 will also be printed as prime number.
Yes.
Okay, so we will have to start our loop from 2, not from 1. Okay, since by going by this logic, certainly 1 will also be shown as a prime number. Okay, so you see it start from 2 and goes till 97. 97 also is a prime number. Okay, and the logic of going from 0 to 10 will have some issues. Okay, you should check because going till half of the number, that is still fine, but checking only from 0 to 9 is not a perfect solution because there are numbers which are not divisible by any one of these, like with like 26. Okay, that is divisible. Yeah, there are numbers actually which will not be divisible by
Sir,
this.
actually, there are being divisible by bigger numbers. So obviously, in
Yes,
between one by one smaller number also they will be divisible. No, in that little gap only we can finish it off.
yes. when we are going for prime numbers between 0 to 100, certainly your logic is going to work. But when we go for higher numbers, like when you go
Yeah,
to
yeah, I was
1000,
saying,
2000,
sir, that's why I was saying square root of that number, no?
yes, 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 that logic will work when we go for square root. Very good.
Mm.
Yeah, because if you are going by that logic, then it will work. But if we are just taking that for any number, it will be divisible by 1 to 10, then it will not work. For larger numbers, we will have to go by the square root or the half value. And I think square root one is a bit better, okay? Because that will decrease the value of iterations, okay? Yeah. Now, this one is code to replace all the letters of a movie name. Like we already have L equals to something, okay? All the movie names except for if there is a dash, if there is a space, okay, or any other special character, you have to replace everything by stars. Like Spider-Man should become something like SPIDER dash MAN, like this. Okay. Matrix, everything to yes, Satya, you have
Sir, means is there any kind of function like this? Character dot is letter bracket something. Is there any kind of function like this?
yes,
Sir,
there is.
in Java, sir, we had a function named this. So character dot is letter bracket. So we used to
Yes.
replace it with this.
Uh Here it is.
Okay,
Dot
sir. Then we'll
is
use it.
is letter is alphanumeric is like something some character is there, so you can put like something like this dot is letter, okay, or is alphanumeric. It is there in the string function
Yes, sir. Then we will use
alphanumeric.
that only, sir.
Yeah, you can use that as well as you can use something like this that we are putting numbers also have to be converted into stars, okay. So I am creating ASCII letters like we were creating earlier and then putting 0 to 9 into it. So we will have A till Z in small, then A till Z in capitals, and then 0 till 9. So we'll have a range of this. Then we will choose any movie from our values, okay. And if character in movie, for every character in movie, if character in SC, that is our string and character value, if it is there, if in, see here, the use of in is very clearly mentioned. CH in SC. So what it does is that it checks the existence of this in the whole of SC. SC also is a list of strings. The same thing we could have done when we were doing the comparison of movies one by one using two loops. Okay, two loops, iterating it so many times, like 30 times I did, right? So this is yes, Ravi, you have some question? Okay. Uh, so this same thing we could have used there also. Okay. Else, what we have to do? So we will print the string itself without anything. And in end, we are not putting anything. Else, print the character. So if it is not in one of this, it is not alphanumeric. Instead of this, we could also have written if ch dot is alphanumeric. Okay. And then we could have put not, like not of this. If this is not alphanumeric, Yeah, is alphanumeric. Fine. Yeah, because then we have to put it back.
So not means we will be retaining the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah, that will be opposite. So we can even use cs dot is alphanumeric. Okay, that will also work here. Okay, both of these will work fine. Again, it will zoom or what I want. Yeah, fine. So let's check this. So it will check some, take some random value, and it is giving it like this. So can anyone guess what is the movie that it took?
Alien isolation.
Alien isolation, by checking the number of the stars, we can say,
The 5
right?
and 9, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So if we try it with some other thing, what this is, I think metrics.
Patrick.
Okay, clear? Anyone have any doubt in this? Not able to
No, sir.
understand or something?
Sir, I
Okay.
would be requesting you, sir. Sir, can you please show us the string functions, sir? Just like the last day you showed us all the important list functions, and then, sir, we were able to understand the things. Actually, sir,
Okay.
we are not at all acquainted with the string functions. So means we don't know what
Okay.
the functions are.
What I
So
will
we are
do is
having
that
to.
in the next
Yes,
class, I will put that in the slide.
yes,
Okay.
sir. So then it will
All
be
the string,
great for
I
us.
think I have kept in somewhere that all the string functions, I made a list of all the string functions. So I think I have it. I will share.
Wow, sir.
Okay.
Then it will be wonderful.
Okay. And I think we have very less time left. So let's go to something that is of use to everyone. Okay. These things are very much like I will be sharing these slides, but if you have problem, you please ask. But I think we should go to programming assignments. That is because some of us wanted that, right? Yes, this one, right? I think Ravi asked this, right? Ravi Teja, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So something like this, right? But in your program, you will have to put extra spaces before also, right? And then we'll move to our other programming assignments, but let me cover this first. Okay. So here, seeing the pet, what it is saying is that it should take an integer n. So first thing is that we will ask an input from the user. So we will say, let's put n equals to int input. Okay, like this. Then what we have to do is that, see here, in the first line, we have, like, see here, we have a loop, and the total number of iterations that it is going is starting from 1 and going till 9. So total how many? 9 iterations. And 9 is equal to actually 2, 2 into n minus 1, right? Is it fine? If I am putting 5, it is going till
Yes, it
that,
is.
right? So we can say that, now if I erase this, so we can say something like we will have a for loop starting from,
Sir, we will be starting the for loop from 0 to n
for I in
in range. Or sir,
range
I range 1 comma n plus 1. That will be better, sir. 1 comma n plus 1.
n plus 1. How? N is 5, n plus 1 will be 6 only.
See, yes, sir. So, sir, range sir, 1 to 6 means sir 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there will be 5 elements.
But here you see, when we are
2n
talking
minus
about this
1.
iteration, 2n minus 1, yes, it is going till 2n minus 1. Okay,
Okay.
it is not
Oh,
going.
okay, sir. I was sharing the
Okay,
column, sir. I am sorry. I am mistaken, sir. I am
yes,
mistaken, sir.
column and
Yes, sir.
rows. Don't for always in this programs go for rows first, then focus on columns. Okay. For
Okay,
I
sir.
in range, we can say if we are starting with 1, then we will have to go till 2n and never write 2n to multiplied by n, right? Or we should go from 0 to 2n minus 1, right?
Sir,
2n
I
will
have
be
a question,
10.
sir.
Yes,
I have a question, sir. Sir, we can also do it not in this manner, sir. We can actually do some two loops, sir. If the first loop will be, sir, from 1 to 5, sir, as the means the first 5 lines we are going to print in the first pattern, and in the second pattern we are going to print the reverse pattern from the last 4 lines.
yes,
So
exactly. You can do that also.
yes, sir.
And that will be easier also because
Yes, sir. That
in
will be
one,
much easier, sir.
yeah, in one you will be increasing and in other you will be decreasing.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
let's see this and then we will do that also. Here also we will have to separate it in two because first case when it is till 5, like when it is less than or equal to the number itself, it is increasing, and when it is more than that, it is decreasing, right? So we will check if I is less than equal to n, then what we will do is that then we will run it for j in range I print star comma n equals to one space we can put, right? And then at the end of this loop, this whole thing we can write print nothing. This will take care till here. Is it clear or any doubt in this?
No, sir. It's clear.
Clear? Everyone?
Star will
Okay.
do, or star into I can be written there.
Star into I. Where?
Star into I should be written
Yes.
first.
Yes, that will be much better for us, right? We can even do that. That instead of running this loop, we can just write print star multiplied by I, right? Here, instead of doing like this, we can do something like print. Yes, very correct. Print star multiplied by I. And in that case, in fact, we will not need to do this also. Anyway, that will
Yes.
automatically be done. Okay. But when it is more than this, then we will put else. Then
But
what
how
we will
to,
do?
but how to insert space in this case?
In this case, we can put a space like after this star itself. If we put one space, this whole thing will
Yes.
be repeated that minute.
Okay.
So that will also work. Else, we can do what we will do is that here, going by the same logic, we can put star and then we can put multiplied by 2n minus I. Will it work? You see here in this case, 6 in line 6, we have 4. So 10 minus 6,
Yes, sir. It's
that is
working.
4 times. Yeah. And if I go by that logic in the last line, at line 9, 10 minus 9, that is 1 itself. We can do by both of these numbers. So something similar to this you can try for the one question that you are asking, Ravi. Is it clear now?
Yes, it is.
So yeah, so it can either be done the longer way like this, or we can go by the this way. Let me.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
what if I want it like a pyramid, like centered?
Centered. In that case, you will have. Let's try both of this. Okay. Then I
Okay.
think it will be. Just a minute. Let me. Still no. Okay. So let's create one new code. Okay. So what I will do is that let's write n equals to and then input. Okay. Then in the new line for in that case where you are trying to put the spaces, right? There you will have to actually run in two parts. First, you will do using like print all the spaces, okay, and then print the things required. We will try that out. Okay, I comma 2 multiplied by n. Okay, always remember we cannot write something like 2n like we generally do in case of mathematics. There it is explicit that a multiplication is there, but in this case it will not work. Less than equal to n. Multiplied by I. Okay, and then we'll close it. Okay, and then else. Else means either we can even put elif here, but it is fine even if we put else because no other thing is going to happen because we are running the loop ourselves only. It is not controlled by some other means. That is why we can directly go for else also. But in case where you don't know what will be the value, it is always safe to put elif and check the condition there also. And then we are putting another bracket here because it will not directly run here. So 2, and here also I have while explaining I didn't write, but here also we have to take care that it is a multiplication. It is not 2n directly. Right. So if we run this, okay, okay, so we are getting okay. In this case, I have not put this case.
We forgot to put the end equal to star. This is
And
coming like this. End equal to
no,
space. Sorry.
but that is not an issue. It is working fine here.
Now it's working fine.
Yeah, that last space we forgot. But what if we had to put, like suppose we wanted it to be in the form of pyramid. So what we had to do there is that you see here, we could have done something like, when how can we make it like a pyramid? It should go something like this, right? And then down. So
Yeah,
here
sir.
1 star, then 2 stars, then 3 stars, then 4 stars, then 5 stars. So how many spaces will be before this?
N minus 1.
10 minus 1 or 5 minus 1?
So it means in every line, sir, we have to adjust the spaces. So the first line will have 4 spaces. 3 if n equal to 5, then sir in first line there will be 4 spaces. In second
Yes.
line there will be 3 spaces. Third line there will be 2, and so on, sir. If it goes
So
on like.
we can do something like, in quotes we can write actually 2 spaces, since we are putting 2 spaces, 1 space. Okay. Then we can multiply it by, okay, here it is taking and adding. Remember, we learned about addition and subtraction of strings also, right? We can utilize that. Okay. We are putting 2 strings here. Just 2 spaces. Right. And then multiplying it by, what should be the value here? N minus I. Let's try. I think there we might need some other iterations also. Okay. Let's see for the first part itself only, then we will check for the. Okay. This is working, but it is fully right-sided. We don't want that, right? So how can we take care of this? Yes, Yashwant.
Nothing, sir.
That, no. How can we take care of this? Like, this is moving fully right.
So we have to break the loop into 2 parts, sir.
Can we do it something like in a less with some less efforts?
So then we have to use list.
We can go by checking even and odd numbers. Here, if n is divisible by 2, okay, then I think your tab is not done. If n is divisible by 2, then another way, and if else, what we can do is that, okay, same thing. Okay, I can copy it. This it's not going to work. Okay, let's write it again. Okay, so if n is divisible by 2, that if it is a like, suppose it is the first row. Okay, so how many spaces we need? Can anyone try? How many spaces will we need in the first row?
Number of spaces should be linked to I, and that
Yes.
should be, that count should be n minus I.
N minus I. Yes. So we can put something like, and minus I. Okay. And then the rest part we know already is that we will put the star. And this will be multiplied by the value of I itself. Okay. Yeah. But this is what we were doing first. But what if we have n divisible by 2? So we can even do something like n by 2 just to make it even more like a pyramid. So you can do the same thing. You can, okay, non-integer. Okay, it's equal to 0. Okay, in this case, it is not going for anything. Yeah, here we will need to convert it into integer, and in fact, we can skip this whole thing, and this will still work. You see, for the first one, it is working fine. Okay, it is putting a space there, but for rest, it is not. So what else can we do for this? Anyone with a solution for this?
So can you please repeat once again?
Like here, what is happening is that if you see that we want that the number of spaces, if we go something like this, if we want to make a pyramid, so for the first line, how many spaces should be there? You have to take care of this. It has to be in the center. That means there should be 2 spaces before it. How will it be done?
Sir, two spaces needs to be done for n equal to 5, sir, if I'm not mistaken.
N equals to 5, I didn't get.
Sir, we are making the pyramid, so we are considering the value of n as any number, or sir, we are just at first we are
Let's
visualizing a number.
let's take it to be 5. Then
Okay. Um,
The number of spaces should be 4 only.
4 only.
yes, sir.
But if we are going, if we are taking it to be 4, in that case, it is not making a pyramid. It is making something like half a triangle only, right angle triangle. We want to make it like this pyramid.
Okay, so then, sir, we have what we have to do is at first, sir, we have to declare a for loop for I1 2 n into 2 plus n into 2 minus 1. Yes, sir. So in the outer loop, we will be making that. And sir, in the inner loop, at first, sir, we are going to print number of spaces. So for example, 4 to 1. So actually, I have something like this done in my machine. So I just want to see and tell you once. Sir,
Okay.
I just want a minute of time, sir.
Yeah, sure. Anyone else? Yeah, something like this. Yeah. So how will we do that?
Sir, I would love to share the screen once, sir, then. Because
Okay,
it's hard to show like this.
yeah. Just
Okay, sir.
it is visible anyway, not an issue. Yeah. So this is fine. But how you are taking care of spaces? What are the spaces that you are getting?
Sir, I have shared my complete code in chat box.
Yes. Okay. Like
That
so
code was
here.
successful. That code was successful.
Yes. So this is one way. Very good. And what if we want to do it like we are doing now? Like we have, we are going trying with this string function. Okay. Like addition of a string and this thing. So just small iterations. Cannot non-integer what it is doing. Okay. And okay. Sorry. Int should be outside this. So this is what we wanted. Okay, with a small, even more, some of more modifications, it will work even fine.
Yes, sir.
So, and the similar thing we can do for the downward also. So such small changes, once you fine tune it, you will be able to get. And these are very simple mathematical calculations. In fact, very small. Not small, you can say very. We studied in 5, 6 these things. You can we can apply that and make a lot of things, make a lot of changes here. Okay, so these things and trying this. In fact, you might be asking that many of the students, like when they they are given such kind of assignments, they ask, why do we need to make so many patterns? Why some star? Why some dots? Or these things? What is the need of it? So for that, there is a very simple reason that in the screen that you are looking, like in mobile phone or laptop, wherever you are looking, if you see it closer or try taking a small magnifying lens and see it, you will see there are small dots that make the whole screen, also called as pixels. And then, so actually, it is something like if we make dots, dots, dots like this, very close to each other, it and seen from a far away, like from a distance, it will look like a whole object. And in fact, whatever is being shown on our screen, everything, every graphical thing is actually made up of such small patterns only, small dots or patterns. That is why these things are very important. How to arrange things in pattern when we are going for this graphic programming, or how to make graphic some images, how to make some dynamic things which are changing. In that case, these things are of quite important. How to take care of each and every dots in your screen, that is very important. That is why these things are necessary. Okay, so that's all for today's class. I'll be putting all these things, and wherever you have doubt, you are free to ask. Okay, and in fact, just a minute.
Sir, I actually had a doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, in my code, sir, I would be wanting to share my screen for a few seconds.
Okay, let me stop
Sir,
sharing.
excuse me.
Yes, yes.
So now the time is
Let
up, sir. Actually, my doubts I have posted in that NPTEL Ask a Question
Okay.
Can you just answer them when you're free?
See, I don't have access to I can see the discussion forums, but in that in the class, I am also like a student. Okay.
Oh,
Best is either you have my details, and in fact, in the classroom we have created. You have the classroom code.
no, sir. I don't have.
Okay, I will share at the end. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
once we get into that, like you can post there, and we can discuss all of us. Everyone can give input on that. Yes, actually, you were sharing something.
Yes, sir. I'm just starting.
Yes, Ravi, what code you are asking? Ravi, please unmute yourself and speak up. Like I cannot check the messages while I'm taking the class. Yes. So, Sakshar, what is the problem in this?
Yes, sir. So this program is working almost fine. So let me take you to the front. So so what was that, sir? I actually created a list, and then, sir, I have given some rules for this game. So these are the rules that if
Mhm.
we enter the word in uppercase, and then, sir, if the word is correct and no false inputs are there, then, sir, the user is going to get full points. And otherwise, if any word is entered which is not there, then 1 point will be deducted for each incorrect input. So, sir, in this way, it's happening. Sir, if you look at this code, sir, it's working almost perfect. Just that there
Mm.
is a discrepancy. So, are you saying, sir?
Yes, yes, I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Sir, up to here, sir, everything is okay.
Mm.
And then, sir, towards the very end, so these were the lines, sir, where I updated the word list, and then, sir, everything. It was taking this number of blank spaces. And when there was no common word found, then, sir, 1 point I deducted here. And
Okay.
if there were nothing, if all the digits were fulfilled, then, sir, I printed that it was successful. And if the
Yes.
number of points went below zero, then, sir, I printed poor performance. So as the game demanded. So now, so what I wanted to do was that I try to do this. Sir, choice equal to zero. And then, sir, I wanted to ask the user whether we wanted to continue this loop or not. Sir, in
Okay.
this one, sir, whether I want to continue this loop or not. So press 1 and 0. Sir, in this loop, sir, if I am pressing 0, then the program execution is stopping. And if I am pressing 1, then also the program execution is stopping. Sir, that
Yeah.
is my problem.
Because you are not converting it into integer. It is
Sir,
being
is that
taken as
a,
a string. Yes. In line
wow?
68, you are
Yes,
not
sir, in line.
converting it into an integer. So, uh, again, you are doing the same mistake like you did earlier. You don't need that extra bracket around int.
Okay,
That will
sir.
work anyway, but try not to put that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is just when in such doubts, check line one by one, because this is something which is not an error, but still it is
Yes,
not
sir.
working because that is not what we wanted. Okay. So I think that now it
Yes,
will
sir.
work fine for you because you were
So
comparing it
then
with
I'm checking it, sir. I'm live
one
checking.
and zero. Yeah. Please try.
Okay, sir. Then I'm live checking it. Yes.
Sir,
Yes, Pavitra.
sir,
Yes.
yeah, yes, sir. I have one doubt in exam registration.
Yes. Yes. Please.
Yes,
Ask.
I have registered,
Yes, sir.
but
It was
still I
working.
don't.
Yes. Yes, Pavitra. I didn't hear you. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, yeah, sir. But still I don't know the current location of the exam center.
How can I know,
Exam
sir?
center, you will not get, like what I know is that that will happen once that the exam dates are nearby. Okay, then the whole thing will be declared, admit card and these things come, and mostly
Okay.
it is where this and digital is there or something like nearby your place only, and I think you
Yeah.
will be
Yes,
able
sir.
to prefer also where to give the exam.
Yes. Okay, sir.
So don't
Sir,
worry about that.
yeah, okay. And the hall tickets and all, it will come into online.
Yeah, it will come that time. Like at present, you just have registered. You have just showed that I am willing to do this thing. Okay, and
Yes,
that
sir.
whole thing, just like we do for other online exams and all, that
Mm.
once the time come, admit card, everything will come. And I think you might need fill one more form. Okay, in
Okay,
which
sir.
your preferences will be asked where you want and these things, exam center and these things
Okay,
that
sir.
will be done. So don't worry.
Okay, sir. And how will be the question, sir? It will be multiple choice or we have to repeat?
That I am not sure about. Like I have said earlier also, that I am not sure about. That will be described once the course is coming near the exams. That will be posted in the appropriate section in the forums. Okay, in
Yeah,
the
sir.
NPTEL
Okay, sir.
forum. Okay.
And do you have one separate Google Classroom for this
Yes.
purpose, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Sir,
That
can
I
you?
just have created for everyone. Yeah. Sakshar, can you stop sharing once?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please
Yeah.
send the link in chat box?
Yes. Yes. I am sending. Not in the chat. Okay, I will send in the chat box also. Anyway, I will show you here. Okay,
Yes, sir, yes.
here. This is the one. This is the code IKNC5GJ. Okay, and those who joined late, next week, just for next week, our class will be on Saturday, like this coming Saturday, 4th March, and for all other weeks, like we continued, it will be on Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
You can take a
Okay,
screenshot of
sir.
this, and this
Yeah,
all the
yeah, sir. I
videos are
taken, I
available
taken.
on the YouTube. Yeah, that will.
Yes, sir.
And this
Taken.
is J, not I. Okay, don't
Yeah,
confuse this.
okay. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Sir, then
Yeah.
I have one doubt. If all day we have this class on 6 p.m. On,
Yes. Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. We have this class every week. Just for
oh,
this week, due to some work, it will happen on Saturday, 4th March, 6 to 8 p.m. Okay. For all
yes.
other days, it is conducted on Tuesday, 6 to 8.
Okay, sir. If they don't postpone any timing because we are leaving only at 6 o'clock from the college. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like you can join a bit later also. And the thing is that you can watch all the videos and you can post in the Google Classroom also. I'll try to help as much as I can. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you all. See you all in the next class. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir. It was a very good session.